So it was supposed to warm up here, but it's not going to for another week.
No,
That sucks.
it's really cold here.
But
23.
is it right now?
No, on like next Tuesday.
Next
Like
Tuesday.
it's okay for a little bit, and then there's like another cold front that comes coming down.
Yeah. Have fun.
No.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is insane. Florida. All right. So we are just minutes away from the Fed decision. Dun 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 dun.
Uh,
We got like 3 minutes to go, and markets are basically flat. SPX is flat. RUT is down 0.4%. NASDAQ is up 0.4%. And the VIX is at 16.68. Dow Jones, flat. Gold,
metals, vertical.
metals, gold up 0.3, 0.7%. Platinum up 0.2%. Silver up 5% today. So silver did have a bit of a pullback. It went up to 117 and now has come back to 111. Gold continues to just go up and up and up, and it's up above $5,300 today. The Nasdaq did hit 7,000 earlier, and that is an all-time high. So I think we'll probably, after the Fed meeting, I think the market will go up unless Powell says something that markets don't like. But at this point, I don't know if he can say anything.
Right.
So George Thompson's in the house. Welcome, guys. How you doing, George? Just hanging out here, watching the Fed do their thing, and then be interesting to see what the market does. Basically, I think it's going to be on what Powell says more than anything,
Right.
right?
I
Um,
think it's pretty much a lock that it's going to be no rate cut or
yes,
hike.
yes. So Coinbase now also has its own prediction markets. Like everybody's getting into the gambling.
Yeah, so Robinhood has it, right?
Ramen,
Coinbase,
yeah,
um,
the
there's
Kalshi, there's another one. Now these guys are coming out with it. I think Interactive Brokers is coming out with their own. I mean, it's just, these guys already have a bunch of customers, right? So why not just keep them in the app and just gamble away? It's
right.
not,
Well, I mean, if it's an offering, right? So if one can offer it, they're going to be like, okay,
yeah,
we want to be able to be competitive and offer it too. So why
yeah. I
not?
mean,
I can't blame them. I mean, you
what
do that.
happened? Where's the rules? Like I thought you could only gamble in certain states if the state passed it, and it was not, like just everybody's just gambling, gambling, gambling now. It's like this
Why
is
would you
what.
go to a casino? In my mind, you just do it online. What's the
Yeah, you don't
difference?
need a sports book anymore. You just stay home.
Like, why would you go there?
I mean, I was looking at it on Coinbase because I have the app on my phone and I have their credit card. So I was looking at it and just looking at it, according to them, 99% is no hike today. 99%.
Yep. Breaking news. Here we go.
So um let's see, what is he saying? 2 dissents. Both wanted a quarter point cut, but no cut.
Where are you seeing the actual dissents? Are you seeing that?
He's saying it.
Oh, he's saying it.
I'm
Okay.
listening to him. There we go. Unchanged. Yeah, you can't hear him, but I'm listening to him.
Okay. I thought you were looking at a specific area. I was like, okay.
Job gains are low. Unemployment is stabilizing. They're not worried about employment weakness. Inflation is somewhat elevated, but going in the right way.
They love to use the word sticky.
All right. So they're saying inflation is not as hot and the unemployment is not as bad. So according to them, they're in a good spot. So
So it's gonna be all about the press conference.
keep it steady, keep the
Outlook.
rate, um, you know, as if they're, if they're a non-event, like if they're non-picture, that's kind of good for markets, right? There's not one less thing to worry about. If you have a Fed that's like, oh, we might do this or we might do that, and you don't know, then it's going to lead to a lot of uncertainty. And I think that's why the VIX is down where it is in the teens. Um, so we'll see how the market reacts to when Powell comes out. The Russell, the small caps were doing better, and now the Russell is pulling back the last few days, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
it has. Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye on that put spread you put on. Um, And yeah, so the comment made no difference to the metals or the markets. Everything is about the same. So interesting. We have earnings coming out tonight. Tesla is going to have earnings tonight. I believe Meta has earnings tonight. Two big ones. Microsoft, Amazon will come out, and then Apple next week. So those will definitely be moving the markets tomorrow, at least the Nasdaq and the S&P. So we'll see what happens there. Um, there was so I talk about this guy Peter Diamandis a lot.
I love
Um,
it. Yep.
and he was interviewing Elon Musk recently, and he's always trying to figure out what's going on. So he's asking all the people, like, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" Um, and he asked Elon. He goes, "How long do you think it's going to take for a robot to be able to do a better job at a surgery than a surgeon?" His answer was 3 years.
Mhm.
A robot surgeon will do a better job than like a real live living surgeon in 3 years. Now, he's always very optimistic. So,
Right? I think
he's
yeah.
he's several years in advance. He always says, "Oh yeah, we'll do it tomorrow," and then it takes 2 years. But even if it takes, let's say, 10 years, right? That's incredible in my mind.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
he's directionally correct, right?
hmm Yes. I mean, my son, he's thinking, oh, yeah, hey, dad, I'm going to be a doctor because AI is not going to be able to take that job. No, but the robot will.
I know it's a big in my mind question for education, right? So it's like you have just like you just described, you almost put a pause on, am I willing to go into the universities to learn this, right? So it's like, okay, where do we go on this?
hmm Yes. Where do
Huge
we
question.
go?
Huge.
It's going to be a big, big problem. And it's coming fast.
Yeah.
They're talking about all these truck drivers and car drivers, delivery drivers. They're going to be out of work soon. The robots are going to cook. They're going to do surgery. They're going to, I don't know what I mean, it's going to be insane. Um, so,
I worry about the ambition of people, right? So if they say, oh, there's no pathway for me to become a surgeon or do this, where do you go, right? Or where do you shift to?
hmm
I think becomes a bigger question.
yep, yep. So we do see the Treasury note going up a little bit, not much, on the news, but Fed does not change rates, but the rates go higher nonetheless.
Yeah.
And the dollar has continued to get weaker. Dollar's actually up today, but over the last so much time, it's been getting weaker and weaker. That's sending the metals higher. That also sending oil higher. Oil, we're looking at $63 a barrel.
Mhm.
And we're also looking at Trump saying we're sending the Armada to Iran. We're sending
Right,
there's
quietly. I think it's it's interesting that they talked about all the protests, that was the big thing in the news, but all of a sudden he made a remark about um, nuclear, right? Having some issues there.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. What
Yeah,
was
so
that?
it's been quiet, right? The real issue was the quelling of the protests.
Yeah, that's what they're
Like, is
saying.
that
Oh,
cover
yeah.
to something else? Like, why are we having this huge buildup? Right? No one knows, of course, but is it nonetheless interesting?
Regime change.
Right, and everybody's their minds over and we're over in Minnesota or on the economy and like all of a sudden we forgot about Venezuela. It's like, okay, what's going on over there, right?
Yeah, and all
So
this stuff happened because of Epstein. Like we got to get rid of forget everybody.
uh,
Don't talk about Epstein anymore. Let's go to
right, no
Venezuela.
one's talking about it, right? I mean,
There's like few people still like, hello, we still need the FIOs. Hello.
it's crazy for sure.
Oh my God. Um, yeah. And so, coming like in the chat, George is saying you got a major in robotics. Jennifer's saying that she's got two kids in college, so she don't know what to say to them. Um, and then one of them is in data science and physics, and then she has a high school senior applying for mechanical engineering. Um, you know, and then I think George hit it on the head. Like we all need to be better traders. Um, because in the beginning, I think it's going to be crazy. Because we won't know what to do, and the governments won't know what to do, and the governments right now are so bogged down with debt. Um, it's gonna really upset the financial system
Especially the US, right? I mean,
everywhere around the world.
right, of course, yeah,
I
the
mean,
whole world has
the poorer
debt.
countries won't be as affected, right? Because there's nothing, they're already pretty low on the totem pole. But the more advanced countries, Europe, China, America, yeah, very China. I don't know enough about China, but we will definitely be affected a lot, and that might mean that people are confused, put out to work, unemployed, unemployment goes up. Um,
Well,
and
especially as the world pulls away from the dollar, you know, it's
yeah,
happened.
and I think that's another reason why gold is going up because if you need to have something physical to trade with, right? So if there's a lot of upheaval, um,
Well, I think the world, I mean, if you think about it, the dollar is just based on trust, right? There's nothing backing it. And people, I think where it's a return of the world to the physical in some respects, right? We're looking at what's real. I think about silver, right? I think that they mentioned it. There's 300 and if I'm correct, I have to check it out, but 356 claims on 1 ounce of silver.
yeah, and we were talking about
That's crazy,
silver
right?
right last week, right? And right now silver is at $112 an ounce.
Mhm.
In Dubai, it's still trading at 120. In China, it's trading at $140 an ounce. So there's still
We
room.
can think about, right? Silver is needed for data centers. Silver is needed all over the world
It
for
is, but I mean, this move has just been incredibly just rocket ship. I think it was like a massive short squeeze, and people got caught. Um, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to keep going higher. Eventually, maybe, but for now, I mean, they go in fits and spurts, right? So it has to calm down. The silver elephant perhaps might be tired at this point. I don't know. We'll see. Gold
I
has
mean,
just been steadily going up the stairs.
yeah,
So
it makes sense that of course, nothing goes up that quickly, that fast it's going to come down of sort, but I think directionally, it's not going to move back to where it was. I don't think. It's my sense.
So a lot of people are taking the opposite side. They're saying that yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
I mean,
bubble
it's
and it is
fair.
going to go down. There is a leveraged ETF ZSL. It's a three times leveraged ETF on the downside for silver, and that thing's trading at like $1. So I don't know if you just you take $1,000, buy 1,000 shares, and just leave it there. Um, who knows if silver
I mean,
does
if
retreat?
it's cheap enough, yeah, you
It,
might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a dollar. It's a dollar. So whatever you put in, that's your risk, right? You imagine, okay, it's either going to pay off big or it's going to go to zero. Um, I mean, it won't go totally to zero because silver not going to go to whatever, but still, like just in your mind, that's how I would do it. If I'm going to put $1,000 in there, I'm like, okay, this is $1,000 bet. Maybe it's like buying a call option, like buying a really, really cheap call option or a put option on silver.
yeah.
Basically, is what it is. But if silver does drop, right? If silver comes back even like 30%, this thing has a chance to go from a dollar to like $10.
It does.
So
Yeah. There will be people that take that bet for sure.
yeah, I mean, it sounds really good to me. Like,
Right. I mean, but that's market, right? I mean, it's gonna find its price where it needs
hmm
to be
yep,
eventually.
yeah. Long term, I agree with you. Silver and gold, the metals will probably continue to go higher. Every time Trump opens his mouth, gold goes up. It's just now, and you know, just looking at the moves that are being made, right? I mean, I would not want to be an investor in Taiwan Semi. I think Taiwan is going to be taken over by China before Trump is gone.
Yeah, and who knows no, yeah, I agree. That's a no touch zone for me. Just no.
I mean, yeah,
It's
like
not.
I feel bad for you, Taiwan, but I don't think Trump's going to do anything because he's going to be taking stuff over here, and so he can't really say anything to them about that.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Well, I think I mean, in the whole big view of everything, the macro view, it's like we're into protectism, right? We're not global anymore. So you start to be like, okay, what am I in control of, right? So it's my area of the country. What am I in control of? Our minerals, our rights, everything tightens up, right? Just like you would, it's not as free as we think. So now I think that's a result of what's going
yeah.
on a little
You
bit
ever you ever play Risk board game?
a long time ago.
Yeah, it's similar, right? Because you have the whole world, and then you're all over the place, and you have your armies and countries and all over, and then eventually you have to give up some countries because you can't defend them, and then you consolidate in one area, and you
Mhm.
just like take over one continent, and then you go to two continents, and then you just have two or three big players that are just fighting with each other. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of it reminds me of that. Like, okay, so the US is going to be, taking over North and South America. China's going to be in their little area. Russia's going over to Ukraine and the Baltics, and they'll take over their stuff. Nobody cares about Africa right now.
It reminds me of when China was started a line, we saw them walking together, with Iran and China, and they all together. It's like people picking their sides and drawing the lines, and you kind of that's not so far-fetched.
Yeah. Yep. And you might, like there's the CIA and the everybody has their own intelligence, right? So they're probably talking to each other and being like, okay, we're gonna do this, you get to do that, and they negotiate.
hmm
Um, so like you've noticed, China's not really saying anything. America is going to go attack Iran. America went to Venezuela. They're talking about Greenland. China's like, whatever,
Yeah,
you
there's a
know?
little rumors of coming out of China, of course, but who knows
Yeah.
what to believe on that, right?
They made statements. They're like, oh, yeah, the UN should do something about this. This is really bad.
We just not get into like kinetic warfare. That's all it is.
Yep.
You know, it's
So,
bad enough that we have cyber attacks and everything else, but
oh, yeah, that's a
you
whole
just
different ballgame.
avoid kinetic.
It's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, actually, George asked earlier, what did you do with your gold and silver contracts? So, George, on Friday, I did take everybody's advice and I got out of my silver contract.
And then he
Um,
called me up and he said, "Why did you get me out of silver?"
no, no, I texted him. No, because like, I was at home or Monday morning because it was supposed to be all icy and everybody was supposed to stay home. So I'm there in the morning in bed and I'm looking at the silver and the silver was up like at one point it was up when I looked at it, it was up like 10%. Eventually it got up to like 13%. So I typed it in. I'm like, okay, if silver is up 10% today, how much would I have made on one contract? And the answer was $44,000. I was like, oh man, I got out one day too early.
So I was thinking about this. If it if that you didn't get out, right, and it continued to go up and you're up 44 grand, do you think you would have got out?
Yes, yes, for
You
sure.
would.
Yes. On
Okay.
Monday, I definitely would have gotten out. I'd be like, I
Because that's
can't
the
take
question.
this.
It's like, okay, what's enough for you to get out, right? So a
Yeah.
lot of people just don't have that in their mind, right? So you actually went through it, figured out a pain point for you, not a pain point, but an area where you would get out.
I think it's all a lot of it, a lot of trading is mental, right? 90
Hmm.
percent of trading is mental. And so even in this, it's like, okay, it's going up. I know the story, I know the bullish case. And the only reason I would have gotten out is because of the profit. That would have been like a six-figure profit in 3 days.
So mentally,
It's just
that's
mental.
what
That's
you
the
were
that's the
looking
point.
for.
Like, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
can't. This is a lot of money. This is life changing to some degree. Like, hey, I can't give this back. So I need to get up.
So that's
Now,
interesting because people are all like, obviously, we're human beings. We're in different thought processes about when to take that profit,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you have Elon Musk. He'll be like, oh, that's like half a second of work for me. I don't care. Let it ride.
Right. Perspective. Of course. He'd be
Not a
like,
big
yeah,
deal.
whatever.
Um, but yeah, that would have been a big thing. And for gold, I added to my gold, so I have two gold contracts, and then yesterday I added a platinum contract because platinum was down big 2 days
Mhm.
ago or yesterday. So I added one after hours. So I
How,
saw,
the platinum, I imagine, is pretty, it's a small market, right? Of course.
yeah, it's much smaller. But it is also
Uh,
used in manufacturing and stuff.
sure.
I think it's just going along with silver. So if silver goes up, this goes up. But today, it's up 3%. Silver's up 7 right now. AGQ seems broken today. I don't know why. Silver's up 7, so AGQ should be up at least double digits, but it's only up 1.6%.
Hmm.
It should be up more than 10%, but I don't know what's going on with that today.
How about copper? Can you trade? Do you trade copper
I
ever?
do not trade copper.
Tradable. Yeah.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah.
futures
Okay. I
contract.
figured it would be. It's just something I don't do often.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and so you could do milk too, I think. They got lots of different commodities.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
you can even trade weather.
yes, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Thinkorswim or Schwab doesn't have all of the different things you can trade.
Right.
So you have to go to a different broker to see all that. Like even, we have our oil program, and if you look on Thinkorswim, you're only the the option chain only shows you a few expirations on the contracts.
Right.
You go to interactive brokers, and there's like the whole page of expiration
Or someone is
going into
special.
the future for years.
Yeah.
So
Or a
uh,
specialized broker like the Carly, right? So they'll
yeah,
have
I'm sure they have a lot more
everything.
as well
Mhm.
because they're futures only. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and so yep, these guys are still talking about payrolls, and we're still waiting for what's his name, Powell, to come out.
Is he going
Um,
to explain, how he had his statement a couple weeks ago about how the Fed is independent? I'm sure he
I
won't.
I have no idea. And I'm looking at I'm looking for trades, and it seems like there are companies that are going up, there are companies that are doing well, and I'm looking for something that's going up, but almost all of them are in the mining space. There's so many of them in the mining space, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm overextended. I can't, I can't trade a miner when I'm in the futures as well. So I'm looking for something else, and then you take a look at Micron or SanDisk or Western Digital, and all these guys. They're up like double digits every day. It's like, yeah, what the heck is going on here? You
Yeah,
know?
especially I haven't looked at Western Digital, but Micron in the last, I'd say, week. I mean, it's been just boom, 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 big, huge moves, right? And just not
Mm-hmm.
a,
Yeah,
small move.
SanDisk. Um, and so, poof, like, okay, I can't touch those. Those are like too far gone. And that's one
Yeah,
of the things we look at, right? It's like, okay, if I'm going to do a spread on it, it cannot be so far extended that it's going to come back and crush me. So
I call it the banana zone.
the banana zone,
The
what is
banana
that?
zone just means it's just off to the races and gone, you know, it's just bananas.
Ah, okay.
I should coin that.
Yeah. Yeah, the banana zone. Put that down. One of our vocabulary words.
Yeah, I love it. I use it all the time. That's banana. Actually, it comes from my wife, actually. She says, that's banana pancakes. And I'm like,
Mm,
oh, all right. So we always say, that's bananas. Right? So,
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I had a coach once. She always used to say banana pants. Oh, that's banana pants.
yeah. Wonder if it came from Gwen Stefani, you know? It's a Bananas, right? It's a song.
I have no idea.
For some of us older people.
Hmm. She's an older person? Now she's older? Gwen Stefani, she said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's, yeah, probably at least, I would think in her 40s now.
Okay, but I mean she didn't get famous till like 10 years ago.
I don't think it's longer than
Really?
that. I'd say like 20, probably.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. Losing track, but
All right. All right, so we do have a question here. Jennifer's saying, I'm working on my watch list. I feel there aren't many strikes and liquidity for most stocks. So what would you do there, Matt?
well, I think um, we're in the middle right now. You got a lot of big earnings going on. We're at the end of the month. So I think
No, I think she's making her watch list.
oh, making her watch us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And George says Gwen Stefani is 56.
Oh God, really? Oh my God.
Yes.
Let's see what I know.
She's older than both of us.
She was younger.
All right. So, I mean, for the watch list, there's thousands of companies out there, but not all of them are going to be good for trading. And it depends which strategy you're going for. So if you're looking at, hey, I want to do naked puts and covered calls, you have a broader range to choose from than if you were like, hey, I just want to do layups and spreads or condors. That's even fewer, right? Um, and so depending on the strategy you're more comfortable with, if you're doing a spread, then um, and I think Jen, if you look in the club, we did release the credit spread mastery course. Um, and we talk about no, actually, it's not in there. It's in the earlier ones of the passive trading lessons. Um, how to choose them, and what to look for. But what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. um, so you can start with the bigger names. You can start with the S&P 500, maybe the Nasdaq 1000, and you work through those first. And then you also look at the ones that you are most comfortable with and that you are most knowledgeable about. Like if you work somewhere, or if your husband works somewhere, or if you're a customer of some company, and you see, oh hey, I really love the cookies from this one place and they're growing. Okay, it might be a small company, it might be a small name, but it's good to put it on your watch list because you understand it, you know it, and you feel it's going to go higher, so you can still trade it. Um, and so, I don't think it's, you could work on the watch list anytime. The earnings doesn't matter. But if you are looking for trades and you're trying to stay away from earnings, what I do is I separate it. So I have two lists. I have one list that's my whole watch list, and then I have another one to trade during earnings. And that one will have my ETFs on there. That one will have the indexes. It'll have the companies that don't report earnings during this little earnings season, so it's a little bit delayed, kind of like Costco, Broadcom, Nvidia, and Nike, and there's a few others. So you're looking at probably 30, 40 names of things to look at when earnings is happening. So you switch to the other list. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. Yeah, and she's saying that she worked on her she's working on her spreadsheet and she's matched it with Simon's. Yeah, so Simon's list, it's already done. All that we've looked at it, we've gone through it. Those I did myself this year, and so I looked at every single company, and I added some. So those are about 150 names. You could stick with that one, and then you could add anything that you want to it. So you could have up to as many names as you want. 200 might get too many, but um, about 100, 150 is kind of pushing it. But I thought, hey, give people a little bit of variety. And if there's something that they don't want, they can take it out.
I think the list is never done, right? It's always evolving and moving and expanding and reverting
Hmm.
back. It's just like the S&P 500, you have newcomers and ones that leave all the time. So it's the same thing with a list in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do separate it just like you.
Every year there's some names that drop off and some names that are added.
Mm.
And then depending, it's the list should be your own. And so, like on my list, I have all the names because I want to know what's on our list, the official like Option Genius list. But I don't touch any of the Chinese names. Even though they're on the list, I don't touch them. I don't trade them. I just skip over them. A lot of the biotech names I skip over because any news event could come out and they move one direction. So I kind of skip those. Um, Matt has his own preferences that were not on the list. I think we added, which one do you add for you? Tractor Supply was one of yours that we added.
For a while, yeah,
Um,
I had
I,
Tractor Supply.
I didn't even know if it was public company. And I was like, hey, why don't you have this one? I'm like, okay,
I
let's
always, I always talk about this small one called Brothers Coffee.
brothers.
Take
Yeah, Dutch
BROS.
brothers, right?
Yeah,
Is it
Dutch
Dutch?
Brothers. Yeah.
That's what,
So
yeah.
it's like it's just one that I know well, and you get this. I always say it's a gray area, but you start to get comfortable with certain ones that you're going to add for yourself. I would say in trading.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe you worked at a company before or you're in the
Sure.
industry. That's really good. If you're in the industry and you know people and you still hang out with people and they're talking and then you have basically insider information and you should be trading it.
There's a
It's
lot of
not,
water cooler talk.
yeah,
It's which is
exactly.
real. Yeah.
And so it's not yeah, but it's fun. And then you go down through the list over and over again and then you realize, okay, I know how this one acts.
Yeah, I always think that in my mind, the liquidity is most important in all this, right? Because you can get into a trade and it's like, okay, can I get out of the trade? Right. So how strong is the option chain on it?
Hmm.
Uh, for a lot of these, it's
Yeah.
important.
And there's sometimes when, I look at it and there's like, okay, there's only a little bit of open interest, but if it's like a naked put, I think I still trade it sometimes,
Right.
you know?
Because you're shifting what you're thinking about that is a little different.
Yeah. Because I'm only going to do a few of them. I'm not doing 50. So I don't need that. And if I need to get out, hopefully it's going to expire and I'm going to be fine. That's the, the goal. But, we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay. Here's Powell. Let's see if he says anything new.
There are all these memes that come out all the time and pictures of him as like his first few words, the market just goes down. It's like, good afternoon.
The economy is on a firm footing. Job gains are low. Unemployment is stabilizing. Inflation is somewhat elevated. There goes the market.
That means it's elevated.
The current rate is appropriate for both of our mandates. All right. Economic activity is expanding. Consumers are good. Businesses are expanding. Housing is weak. So look at that. The 2 year. Look at that sucker. Rates going up, even though the Fed is not raising. 10 years also up. Trump's not going to be happy.
No.
but he probably knew this was coming.
Do you think he's watching it right
No,
now?
he'd be like throwing stuff at the screen. Like, I don't understand this guy. Why is he still there? Somebody fire him.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think I'm going to miss Jerome.
I like him.
He has a
Uh,
measured approach, you know. He like we talked about, he telegraphs exactly what he says, right? And kind of this is what we're doing, and it pretty much pans out exactly what he said. So
I think he would make a nice neighbor. You know, he'd be a nice guy next door. You need to borrow a tool or something. He'd be like, sure, I got that. You know, I mean, I don't think he's like the grandpa type, maybe.
I'm
He's
sure he could stick it to you. I think he's a lawyer by trade.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got teeth then.
He's like the nice grandpa, but like you overstep him, I'm sure he
Oh
could.
yeah, he's got
Yeah,
teeth.
that type of guy.
Um, so yeah, definitely like, Janet Yellen, I think she was last, right? So I didn't like her voice at all. It's very like hard to listen to. But him, I like him. I like the way he sounds. Oh man. So yeah, markets are somewhat moving, but again, non-event. Nothing to see here so far. Um,
You know, most of this sometimes is in the question and answer session
yeah,
because they try
yeah,
to they kind of pin them a little bit more about. Let me go a little further about questions.
yeah. But at this point, I don't think he knows. I mean, we are heading for a shutdown, right? It's going to be shut down, pretty
Right, we
much.
haven't even talked about that. Most
Yeah.
likely, yes.
And so it won't be everything shut down like last time. Like SNAP, like food stamps will still be available for people. So I don't know, there'll be less, you know, protests, I guess, because everybody's fed. But the IRS will be shut down. All of the reports, the economic reports, the employment reports, PCI, PPI, all that stuff is going to be shut down. And so the Fed will have no new information again. So we're going to have the same talk in the next meeting.
Delay.
Like, oh, yeah, hey, we don't have any information. So we're just not going to do anything. And that gives Jerome some cover too, you know?
That gives the government some cover, right? They
Yeah.
can kind of maneuver a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I always
there's
find it
what.
interesting. How come they don't close down in April, right? When you that still works, right? You still got to pay taxes. They're still processing.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Well, the IRS will have people on furlough, and they will be processing.
Yeah.
But last time they did end up shutting stuff down. Not entirely, but after a while they couldn't stay open anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody's refunds and stuff is going to be delayed.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt the economy. Um, I never understood it, like, but that's a big deal, the refund. And as soon as people get that refund, they spend it.
Sure.
So it's kind of like Black Friday, but in April.
It's human nature, right? I mean, just look at what people do with handouts, right? So if they're gonna take it and you're gonna spend it, most likely. I think the general population will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comes
Yep.
out of budgeting. The government can't do it.
So S&P is still flat. Dow is still negative, flat. Yep. Um, The oil names are doing really well, all-time highs. Exxon, Chevron, Valero, Marathon, doing really well. Um, Even though some of them are not going into Venezuela.
I don't think.
I wonder if they want to go into Iran. Like, hey, would you want to go drill in Iran?
I don't know about that.
Yeah. And it did come out. It came out that the lady who is now in charge of Venezuela, who is the vice president, she's been working with the White House for months.
Now, are you talking about
before.
Delcy Rodriguez, the that one, or
No, the current acting president. She was vice president. Now she's acting president.
yeah, I think that's her name.
I don't know her name. I get her and the other one
Delcy
confused.
Rodriguez, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there's two ladies, right? There one is the opposition Nobel Prize
Yeah,
winner, and then there's one who's
who gave
the
it away?
president. Yeah.
Who gave it to Mr. Trump? Yeah.
So the woman who is right now the president and she was vice president, she was working through her brother. Like her brother was negotiating with the American government for months before all this stuff happened. So interesting.
Very.
It's always
Layers
the
and
one. It's always the one you never expect to sell you out.
yep. Layers and layers.
Uh, interesting. Yep. I was listening to this interview of a ex CIA agent, and he was talking about how they use personality tests to figure out if you're going to be a good agent and this and that, and he's like, the mandate of the CIA is to do whatever it takes to keep the USA as the preeminent power in the world. That's the mandate.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's kind of scary. But he goes, that's what we do. So sometimes we have to do stuff that's not very nice, but if the ends justify the means, that's what gets done.
I
Um,
mean, we talk about protecting the dollar, right? So I think goes along with that.
yeah, that's part of it.
Um,
Um,
I wonder if we listen to the same podcast or whatnot because there was they're talking about how the CIA agent, if they get discovered, right, they're done. Like their career's over. Like you can't go back and become that agent again. It's like once they're discovered, it's over.
mhm.
That type of thing. Serious, serious business.
Yep. He also said that this was interesting. He said that it takes from start to finish to get somebody to turn on their country. Because they have people who are like salespeople, right? They go out there and they make friends with somebody, and they go and they get, become, and they have to get the secrets from the top people, right? The people that the president of the country will trust. It can't be just run some Joe Schmo. It has to be the top people,
Yeah, they gotta get into it.
the most loyal people in the country. And he goes from start to finish, it takes 9 months to turn somebody.
On average.
Yeah. And I'm
Wow.
like, what? You know, that's insane.
So the top like brass of the country.
Yeah.
And they-
It could be like a vice president,
I would think
like
it would be longer.
exactly.
I think of like
Exactly.
China, for example. They say they have people that are, up with President Xi, Um, I think that would take 20 years, 30 years, something like that. That's credible.
It takes 9 months. 9 months to turn somebody from the most loyalist to a treason, a
Wow.
traitor.
That's very interesting. I would never think that.
Sykes.
Mm-mm.
Crazy, crazy. All right. So today's the 28th, right? So you want to go look at the SmackDown? Because it doesn't look like anything's happening here with the markets and Powell. He's answering questions, but the market is just basically where it was. Um, I don't think anything has moved really much. So
They're just waiting on President Trump to shake up the economy, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
Powell
we
will
do
say
have
something, and then Trump will do something.
we do have the shutdown coming up. That one last time it didn't really affect the markets that much. Some stocks were affected, not really the market in general. So I'm not really worried about that. If
Do
he
you feel
goes in,
that the last one was more expected, and this one is kind of like, it's more up in the air? Like, how do you think
oh
about
no,
this?
no, no. Last time was they kicked the can down the road.
Right.
And it was like, okay, we're going. It was the dumbest deal I've ever heard. You know, it's like, okay, we want. What was it about? It was about healthcare subsidies,
Yeah.
right? We want healthcare subsidies, and then after like weeks, they said, oh yeah, oh the Republicans, they're gonna give us a vote on healthcare subsidies. Okay, they're going to schedule a vote, but you don't have the votes to win. So even if they schedule the vote,
Yeah.
you're not going to win. Why the hell would you give in to that? That was the
Yeah.
dumbest thing. They never got their vote.
You're gonna
You
take a
know,
stand, take a
they didn't get
stand.
anything, but it was a
Right.
kick of the can down the road. And now it's, we're like, what, 4 months later, and now we're at another shutdown. It's the same thing. And now they don't care about the subsidies anymore. What happened to the subsidies? Now it's all about ICE. Oh, don't give money to ICE. What?
Do you think that's why he's kind of retracted a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got out of hand. I mean, now you're killing Americans, you know. Um,
And I think somebody got in his ear and said this could really spiral.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
essentially.
So,
So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I don't know if it does shut down, I think it'll be there's no telling how long it could go. Because I think people dig in to issues like this.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. That does
Not
mean,
ICE, it's not about healthcare, really.
yeah, this is different.
Different, different, right?
Yeah,
More personal, so people dig in more, I think.
yeah, could be.
Interesting.
There's for every illegal immigrant, they probably have relatives that are either green card holders or citizens. So, you know, the more people you deport, the more impact you're going to make and the more bad feelings that are created.
Yeah,
Now,
it touches more and
I
more
mean,
lives across, right?
yeah, I mean, it definitely should be done. I agree. I agree in that sense that yes, if somebody's illegal, they get caught, send them back, right?
Yeah, the issue is how it's done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's the problem right now.
yeah. And now, I mean, they're and you've seen some of the videos, like they're harassing anybody and anybody. Like if you look somewhat like you might be an immigrant, they harass you and
Yeah,
pull
it's
you over.
visceral. I mean, it could be anybody, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, I'm concerned. Like if I see a nice people, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go the long way around. I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, because you're in the wrong place, wrong time, and that's not no way to live. That's crazy.
But that is scary, right? That's scary in
Super
your own
scary,
town, in
sure.
your own
Yeah.
home, in your own city. It's like I
Yeah, I'm just going to the grocery store and minding my own business, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, spread them or whatever, and
exactly.
all of a sudden you're like, and then one wrong move or something like this, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that these ICE people are trained as well as like police are trained, you
I
know?
I don't want to like just say a blanket statement like, yeah, they are, because I don't know. But my
I don't know
sense is they're
where,
not. Their senses they're not.
from what I've seen on TVs, it's not. And I don't know what training they do get, but I know, like, I went to our local Sugarland police station and we had like a citizens academy where you go there once a week for like 10 weeks and they teach you everything that they do.
Mhm.
Um, they are constantly training, you know, about de-escalation and not using deadly force and doing everything you can to desensitize the situation and to protect yourself,
Right.
right? Like the one lady that got shot in Minnesota, she got shot by the agent that was standing in front of her car. Now, even I know that if I'm going to go approach somebody who I'm arguing with that's sitting in a car that's on and running, I'm not going to go in front of her car. I'm going to go to the side of the car. I'm not going to stand
Right.
in front
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
car. I don't know what
Yeah.
the heck, it was kind of stupid. But so,
And also, you have all of a sudden this, federal contingency coming into a local, local cops and whatnot. So they're all, how does that interplay, right? They don't know how to react with each other. So it's like more,
yeah.
more chefs, right, in the kitchen.
and
It's
and
like,
they're only
okay,
being
what are we
sent
doing?
to
What are
they're
we doing?
only and they're being sent to like democratic states and democratic cities, where the people don't like Trump. They didn't vote for him, but he's sending armed guards or armed people into the city. So obviously that's going to be like It's like it's like the British are coming, the British are coming,
Yeah, I mean
get your weapon.
it's a slow moving, well, not even slow. It's you can see the train wreck before it happens.
Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Don't
I
know
just
either.
I just hope people, people are safe and
And they find a way to de-escalate and just, somehow.
mhm. But all right. Do you think oil's gonna go higher from here? We're at
I
63
don't
right
think
now.
in any measured way. I
What if
think
they go into Iran?
like we've seen this before. It's like maybe a spike or two, but I don't see it. I don't know. My thoughts are not in like if it is, it's not going to be a huge way. I could be wrong. What do you think?
I guess it depends on how and what they do. If they just,
I think,
shoot a couple,
yeah,
if they shoot, or if they do the same thing they did with Venezuela and they just take the head guy out, then maybe nothing happens. If they shoot some missiles in there, blow some stuff up, maybe nothing happens. But if the government is still there and they retaliate by shutting the Suez Canal, or not the Suez Canal, the little strait, Hormuz,
right. Well,
um,
they have the power to do that. That's the question.
well, that's why the Armanda's there, right?
You're right, but
It's like go ahead and
I
try
mean,
to.
so
They're preparing in advance.
it's a timing thing. Like, how long would that happen, right?
So if there,
So
yeah, but if there is something that happens, yeah, we could see a spike, right? We could see a $10 spike. It might come back down, but we could see a spike higher. I definitely probably would not be in calls at this moment, selling calls.
no,
Yeah.
probably not. Yeah.
So, um, so
Or if you do, you're even, you're super far away.
I wouldn't.
I know you won't do it.
No, why would you take that risk? Um, so
There's risk in anything you do, but
yes, but then there's
there's
some,
opportunity there. There's measured opportunity, I would say.
yeah, there's risk in everything. Yes, I get that, but sometimes there's like, okay, that was stupid risk.
True. That's
Like,
true.
what are you thinking?
Yeah. You got to formulate that for yourself for
And
sure.
we've had students like that in the past, like in our oil program, we teach how to sell options.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, I'm gonna be on both sides of the trade. Like, why? Every time he's like, I remember one guy, he's like, yeah, every month I have to be on both sides. I cannot just be on one side. I have to do it on both sides because you're just leaving money on the table and blah blah blah. And he had his, and he
Yeah, but you
lasted.
can't, I agree, you can't put blinders on to the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you're going to get caught. I mean, it's just,
I mean, he lasted a couple of years, so he lasted longer than I thought. But then eventually it caught up with him, and he's like, "Oh man, I lost money." I'm like, told you.
yeah. You speed long enough, you're going to get caught. That's what I say.
You got to be able to afford the ticket. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, for sure.
Nasdaq is peaking up a little bit. All right. All right. So let's take a look at our SmackDown.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing Mr. Powell here. Where are we? Okay. Whoops. Okay. And I'll let you share. Boom. So today is the 28th. I guess we will end this on Friday, which is the 30th.
30th. Okay. Yep. 31st is Saturday. So, yes.
Yeah. So we
All
got
right.
we got 2 days left. And let's see what's going on. Oh, it's a
Now, keep in
close battle.
mind, it's probably, I thought this would be different, but it's probably near where it is right now, because this was taken earlier today.
Yeah, everything pretty much the same. But yeah, it's a very close race here.
Close as you
So
can.
yeah, so what do we have? Who's in first place? AMD is in first place, right? 13.84. Then we got Hecla.
PPL and PPLT.
Yeah, they came off. They fell off pretty bad. Hecla did. And then PPLT is at 12. So But even, I mean, we got 2 days, so I don't think like O'Reilly is going to catch up in 2 days. But we've seen crazier things. I don't know if any of these have earnings, but if something like XOM comes out with earnings or Amgen comes out with earnings, they could easily be in the lead in a couple of days. So,
Yep,
um,
depending.
yeah. And if something happens with Iran, we have two people with XOM and Chevron. So, you never know.
You never know. That's right.
Never know. I think Coinbase, though, I think Mr. Monkey Tamer, I think you're out of the race there.
Yeah,
Um,
probably leader face, I think
yeah,
is
and I think Palantir, unless Palantir has earnings, I think they're out of the race too.
Palantir's been pulling back quite a bit.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
but other than that, I think everybody kind of has a shot, depending. We got somebody with Nvidia. Lori has Nvidia. We do have earnings, big earnings, Meta, and the other one tomorrow. So that might affect Nvidia.
I think
Uh,
they're all after the close, right?
yeah, today after the close.
Yeah.
Um, Nvidia was up nicely today, I think a couple percent, so that helped. But yeah, cool. Anybody's game. What
All
do you
right.
think?
Well,
You gonna place a bet on any one of these? What's the prediction markets? What's Matt's prediction market saying?
hmm. Yeah, real quick. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with HL.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. I
Yeah,
think there's gonna be a resume on the Heckler mining. I think it's gonna go up. Yep.
yeah. And if Mike Luttrell wins again, that'll be the third month in a row. And I don't know what gift to give him this time, so
We're
it'll be
gonna
good if
sit him
somebody else
out for
wins.
winning so much.
It'll be good if somebody else wins. Sorry, Mike.
He's gonna have to give his prize to someone else.
All right, so that's it. Markets are still basically flat, and
Kind of what we
everything is about
expected.
the
I didn't
same.
expect it today to be too, but you never know, right?
Yeah, he's still talking. So I'll listen to him. They're asking him about Lisa Cook now. Um, but that was, I mean, it's still going on, but I don't think anything's going to happen about that either. So,
Yeah.
um, it's funny stuff happening. Um, but yeah, I mean, in terms of what's the trade, right? What do you, to me, I still think the metals are the trade. Gold, particularly. I think silver will pull back. I don't know about the other ones, but gold still there because if something happens with Iran, guess what gold does? If
Hmm.
something happens with Greenland, guess what gold does? If we have a shutdown, guess what gold does? So I don't see a lot of ways for gold to like pull back significantly. And so if it does pull back even a little bit, I think it's like more time to back up the truck and get back in.
Yeah, I think the big players are in there, right? So
Yeah.
they
So
show they
these
show the direction.
so
Yeah.
it seems like it's a commodity super cycle. You've seen those every few years, like all the commodities go and they go and they go and they go higher than anybody would have expected. This movement in gold and silver and all these, they've moved in just this month. They've moved more than they have moved in years in the past.
I think that's frightening in a way,
It
right?
is. It
It's
is.
very frightening, and people are confused, and it's like, okay, what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
The
yes,
people
I think you're looking to be in metals, you're looking into hard assets, right? I think that's
yeah.
the direction of where you need to be.
And I think everybody's in it. I mean, I think a lot of people are in it. Like SLV on Friday, um, traded more than a lot of stocks put together.
Yeah.
The number of contracts, the number of shares traded, the money going into it. SLV, I mean, everybody's in SLV. So it's become a very crowded trade. And so when it does pull back, it's going to pull back hard
Yeah, but I don't know what in your mind would be the conditions for it to pull back hard. It's a different, I feel like
because
we're in a,
everybody will get out at the same time. That's
right,
what
but
I'm
there
saying.
has to be a underlying reason for all these metals to reverse. And what would that be, right?
It doesn't have to be all the metals. It could just be silver. Silver is too extended, and there's some quant fund or some algorithm that says, "Oh, hey, you know what? We need to cut back," and they start selling, and then other people start selling. It might be on a day where there's very low liquidity or very low volume. I don't
I
know
could
when the
see that
next
where they could move it around and maybe those markets, but like a gold, I don't know about.
gold is much bigger.
Yeah, I
It's a
don't see
much
it
bigger
pulling them
market.
back like that.
But silver is a smaller market, and so if there are major players in it that start selling off their contracts, then yeah, you could see it pull back from whatever it is now, 114. You could see it easily come back to like 75.
Hmm.
It might not be just one day move, but over a couple of days. Like, I mean, it's been going 10% every day. So to go from 114 to 100 tomorrow, not unheard of. It's okay,
Yeah.
and then it could
So
keep
you almost
going.
expect it to be a pullback at some point, of course. But
Yeah.
is the direction going to be changing over time? That's the question.
Long term, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. But
Short
be ready
term,
for the
the
pullbacks.
short term is what I'm talking about, like
Yeah.
what we were talking about last Friday with the contract. Like, okay, I've already made the money. If there is a pullback tomorrow and I lose all the money, then I'm gonna get mad, the fact that I could have had 44,000, I'm okay with it. That took me a few hours to get over.
See, I was right. So you said you
it,
still would be happy.
it still bothered
That's,
me. It would bother
yeah, but
me.
the end result is you're happy, right? It's
Yeah,
not
but eventually I got over it. And
worse because you're in the profit.
my gold kept going up too. So I was okay, the account is still growing. That's good.
And we
That's good.
talked about that, right? So you're going up on one. It's not like you had to get out of both.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. So now I'm
strike a
thinking,
nice
okay,
balance.
now the idea is like, okay, do we get back in? Like when? I don't know. That's the question.
I think it's what we just talked about. Like if there's a big pullback, maybe that's the time to get in on it because
Maybe.
you have the direction in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Which no one knows, but
And
it's
then you could always take some of your profits and throw that at a trade and be like, okay, if I lose this, I lose this. But I'm playing with house money.
that's right.
So cool beans. All right. Paolo's still talking. Nothing else is happening. So we will see everybody on Friday.
Yes, sir.
All
Be ready
righty.
for
Take
the
care.
government shutdown. Bye bye.